Okay, there we go. Sorry. So this is my new setup. So yeah, I got this is our meditation stream. This is something new I'm trying out because last year. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me, whether it be on Facebook or Twitch. Yeah, last year I put a lot of effort into self improvement, and a big part of that was learning to meditate. And I think it's really important for all of us to have a meditation practice, even if you don't believe in the spiritual aspect of it. It's it's really important because oh man, I was gonna whatever. I was gonna put on like a sweet song right now, but that's okay. Hey, what's up, Witch King? So, lost my train of thought. It's really important to have a meditation practice, even if you don't believe in the spiritual aspects of all of it, because it's the way I look at it is like look at our bodies like a computer. And meditation is you logging into your settings panel, and then you can adjust and change things and balance yourself out so that you can like function at your best, both physically and mentally. So it does have spiritual ties, and like I do believe in the spiritual nature of it. But I think for someone that's not on board with spirituality yet, I think it's the gateway drug to spirituality. No, I mean if you know my movement, Irreverentism, is that to me, spirituality is practicality. So if you are developing systems for your life that help you function at your best, then you are being spiritual, because what we're here to do is succeed, and we're here to help others succeed and just enjoy life and enjoy the absurdity. And yes, I know it might be kind of silly believing that our minds actually affect the matter, but I've spent a lot of time researching quantum physics and different theologies, and there's a whole world of stuff out there that you get, like, I didn't know, and I thought I knew a lot of things. But once you start digging, you really see like how magical this world is. And I think that we've just forgotten how to use a lot of our, what I call biotechnology. And this is what I want to help you guys get in touch with. Because when we all make up the collective of humanity, and if you don't know, like, the shit is crazy right now, and I mean it's always crazy. But if you want to be a part of the solution, then you have to fix yourself first. Because once you're strong, then you emanate like positivity and good vibes. And I know New Age spirituality talks a lot about like good vibes and love and light and stuff like that. But I mean that is important, and that's our goal. But it's not always. When you really start getting into spirituality, it's not all love and light. There's shadow too, and shadow is what makes us grow, and these things that we have to overcome. So this meditation is also like I have accessed parts of myself and really like reflected on myself in ways that I usually use like things like alcohol and things to just numb myself from. And meditation really put me in touch with my mind and brought me back to the present. And so, yeah, that's my spiel on why meditation is important, whether you're spiritual or not. And I encourage you to take the tips and the tricks and things that I've figured out and then put it in your own practice, because that's what I've been doing. I just watch a whole bunch of videos. I read things. It is like a Sunday service, huh? So Sunday service with Sig Neutron. But yeah, this is all little bits and tidbits I pulled from different places. And I'm telling you guys, if you're not even open to the idea of spirituality or something bigger than ourselves, and you're like one of those science bros, well then start doing start researching quantum physics, because it will blow your mind, because there's so much magic that's being discovered in modern quantum physics right now. It's insane. But most of these discoveries are available to the public, but nobody is actively, unless you're like into the scene, you're not actively looking it up. So you would think, oh, the whole world would know about this. Well, you only know about what you pursue, right? So if you're kind of closed off to even the idea of something more and something magical, then you're closing yourself off to possibilities. And that's what irreverentism is about, is accepting the absurdity in life. Because when you accept that everything is absurd, then you open yourself to a world of possibilities. And that's that's what I'm about. And we can have fun doing it too, you know, like, look, this is goofy as shit. Like, you know, like, it can be fun. It doesn't have to be so serious, but the effects and the profound impact that it can have on you and change your life by connecting to the magic. Like, who doesn't want to live in a realm of magic, man? Like, that's what blows my mind, is I see so many people that just, they love fantasy, they love all this stuff, but then as soon as you start to tell them that, like, magic is actually real, and in magic is science-based, science and magic is the same damn thing, then they're like, oh, no, man, no, I'm just gonna keep being in my little bubble of, you know, I don't know, missing out on, like, I don't know, so many people feel unfulfilled today, and I believe that things like this, meditation and spirituality, and some kind of openness to possibility is what you're missing out on, because you inherently know that these things are real. So, all right, meditation, how to do it. Because I started meditating, and it was, I don't know, I tried it the first time, and this is the thing I want to let you guys know, is that it's meditation just like working out or any other skill. It's a skill. So when we do this, we're going to do a guided meditation here in just in a few minutes, and I'll take you through it. And know that, yeah, you might not get amazing results from this the first time, but it's something that you got to keep doing. And the more open and the more you believe that this is actually doing something for you, the faster that you're going to progress. So right now, I ask you all to use your imaginations. And, like, I don't know, look at it like we're kids again, and like we're playing make-believe, but, like, really, like, believe that what you're doing right now is working for your body and it's centering yourself. And towards the end of this guided meditation, I'm going to have you guys visualize some stuff about Australia, and we're going to try to visualize some rain on Australia, because, again, back to quantum physics, if you start digging, the mind affects matter. This is starting to become scientific fact, and it's really complicated to explain, but I think, you know, as I do these more, I'm going to get into different aspects of meditation and metaphysics and physics and science, you know. It's it takes time and, you know, consistency to work your brain muscles. So, and there are different ways to do this. Rani suggests that we light a candle and set an intention. So if you have a candle right now and you want to light it, and as you light the candle, think about, what do you want from this practice today? We're going to meditate for about 20 minutes, and most of it is going to be just like you getting in your zone. And then towards the end, we'll do a little bit of meditation visualization for Australia. But so when you light this candle, what do you want to get out of this? Do you want to feel more centered? Do you want to experience more joy in your life? Are you lacking in money? Like, I think a good way to put it is like abundance, like just a general feeling of like abundance, like, because whatever you're lacking in life, it could be anything, money, love, whatever you're lacking, focus on bringing that into your life as you light the candle and as you meditate. And we actually, again, it's science that we create like an electromagnetic field like around us. And so when you your field all starts with your mind. So when you start centering your mind and balancing your mind, then your field that you project starts to actually attract what you want. If you're caught up in this like negative feelings and negative thoughts all the time, then that is really what you're going to attract. And it's, you know, it sucks, but yeah. So right now I lit a candle, and my intention is to connect with you guys and share some things for you, because this is so important. And I think this is a main reason why like depression, anxiety is running rampant today, is because nobody's taught us how to do this. This is something we should be teaching our kids from like the moment they're old enough to remember, because like kids have such wonderful imaginations, and we have to really encourage imagination, because imagination is real and it really can change the world. So yeah. All right. So some tips on the actual meditation itself. So there was this thing I discovered that gratitude, the feeling of gratitude, is somehow super integral to working magic or connecting with yourself during meditation. And like each feeling is a frequency. And I'll probably do a whole episode explaining frequencies and things, but like radio frequency and all of these waves that we can't see. Feelings have frequencies. And when you feel a certain way, this is kind of like when I started meditating, it made prayer make sense. Like when people say grace before food, because essentially, like, you don't even have to like thank a god or something like that, but you just like, you're channeling a feeling of gratitude for this food and abundance that you have, and it puts you in this state of like receiving and just thinking and being and feeling, and you're essentially raising the vibrations of your food. Because again, double slit experiment, if you want to look this up, when you look at something, our vision actually affects matter. So just the act of looking at something can have an effect on the matter. So if you look at something and you just think thoughts of love and gratitude and like thank you, like you are literally like affecting the frequency of whatever you're looking at. So this is all like wild and crazy. It sounds crazy, but when you start doing the research, you realize like, and then also I think like when you put it into practice in your own life, that's when the proof is in the pudding, So that's why I wanted to start doing this, to help encourage people to get going. And, there's a thing called heart-brain coherence. Thank you, Randy. And it is when so our hearts actually have neurons in them. And so they essentially have their own little brains. Like our hearts actually think separately than our brain. So what you need to do is start like connecting the heart and the brain. And I think I'm going to do a specific meditation for this one, like one of these weeks, that you actually like, you visualize just connecting the heart and the brain. And then that's good. Maybe we should, I already recorded the other one. But anyway, so basically meditation is like a good analogy someone said, it's like sports. There are many different kinds of meditation, just like there are many different kinds of sports. They're all physical activities, but there are many ways to do it. And meditation is the same. And so what we want to do, this is just the basic, get you going, bare bones here. We're going to work on just channeling gratitude and like clearing our mind. Because it's really important that and when a lot of people try to do this in the beginning, you'll have these thoughts that, like they'll just pop up, like something keeps nagging you, and then you just hear it, you hear a song or something. You have to let that, rather than like think another thought of, I got to make that thought go away, just don't think any thought at all and just sort of let those thoughts sort of pass over you. And like in Buddhism, they call it the monkey mind. And it might be like, Buddhism, Taoism, one of the Eastern traditions, they call it the monkey mind. It's where you get all these little thoughts, and you got this little monkey like dancing around you trying to get your attention. You have to let that go. And if you pay attention to it, you're not letting it go. So rather than try to actively push away thoughts, just like let them just, if you hear them, it's like, I say it in the meditation, just imagine you're in a crowded room and a lot of people are talking, and you've done it before. You can zone out everything around you. So just imagine that you're doing that with your own mind. Because when we disconnect from everything, we get into this place that I call the hub, and you'll feel it. It's weird. It's like you're definitely in this other place. Like your body is nothing. You're just become mind. And that is that user panel where, if we think of our bodies as computers, that's what, that's when you log into the settings panel. And then from that place, that's where you can communicate with ancestors. You can like focus on healing your body. You can focus on bringing money into your life. All of these things, depending on what you want to get out of your current, like that session of meditation, you can do that from this hub. So right now, like, let's just try to, if you guys are new to this, let's just try to get into that hub for the first half. And then towards the end, I will, my voice will come back in, and then I'll take you to Australia, and then we'll visualize some water coming on to, coming down on Australia and putting out the fires, because I'm telling you, man, and just, all I ask is that you just believe. Like, why don't you want to live in a world where we could believe that we're actually having an impact right now? And I'm telling you, belief is one of the most powerful things a human can do. So, all right, well, I think that's good. Does anybody have any questions before we get started? That's a good, I'll put that out there. So I like to. You can't see me, but I'm sitting in the typical. You've seen it, legs crossed meditation pose, and I think that we do this because, and try to sit up straight when you're doing it, because there are like energy channels that run up your spine, and this is like Kundalini energy. And I'll do one of these sessions, and I'll show you guys how to do Kundalini meditation and yoga. But before we get to that phase, it's important that you get to grasp the basics. And I do this every day, 20 minutes. Okay, seems that nobody really has any questions. Some tools that you can use during meditation are solfeggio frequencies. They're different like hertz frequencies, and it's crazy because like it sounds like a crazy person when you explain this, but the frequencies, there's like 432 hertz, and there's these certain like master frequencies that mathematically and geometrically sync up with sacred geometry. So these master frequencies like 432, the math like works out crazy, and then you end up getting the circumference of the moon, the sun, all of these like mathematical weird numbers that all line up with this certain frequency. And the crazy part is, I just learned this, is that all of our instruments back in the day used to be tuned to 432 hertz, but sometime in maybe the 40s or something, the Germans actually were the first to do this, I heard, is that everybody for some reason started tuning all of our instruments to 440 hertz. So it's like 8 hertz off. But 432 is like the true tone. So you hear this like true magical tone. And science is even figuring out how to like vibrate things with, or levitate things with sound. Like there's all this like crazy sound technology. It's like sound is so important. And if you've ever seen where they pump frequency into water, you see the geometric shapes emerge. Like it's so exciting, but it's so weird that why is all of our music tuned to 440 hertz? So start digging into that if you're interested. And there's this whole like conspiracy that like, I don't know, the shadowy government is like putting us a few hertz off just so like the music is slightly, it's not as magical or powerful or something. Like there's this whole bunch of stuff there. But so look up solfeggio frequencies. There's also binaural beats, which I personally like, and you can listen to these while you sleep as well. Binaural beat is where you have to do it with headphones, and in one ear they play a frequency, and then in the other ear they play the frequency just like one or two, like one higher or lower than that frequency, and then so your brain, to compensate, hears the difference in the frequency and creates a third frequency. So when you just hear, you have one headphone on, you hear boop, and then you take that one off and you have this one on, you hear boop. But when you put the headphones together, then it creates this like woo, 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 and then your brain creates an entire third frequency that doesn't exist, but you hear it. And what this does is it entrains your brain to start like operating on these frequencies. And so that helps. We all know that brainwaves are a real thing, and when you go to sleep, you're in the theta stage. That's when you're like dreaming. So usually a lot of meditations are in the theta wave stage. So again, that's science. So we use these sound things to actually entrain our brains to different frequencies. I could talk about this stuff all day. It's like there's so much exciting stuff that's actually way more scientific tie-ins than you have ever been led to believe. So be open to possibilities. Okay, well, I think nobody really had any questions, so let's get into doing this. Let's just get comfy, and I recommend sitting, if you're able, sit in that cross-legged position, because again, it goes back to sacred geometry and the power of the pyramid. You essentially make a pyramid with your body, and I think there's something really powerful about that, the shape. There's also, I'll do another episode about mudras. This is the typical mudra that everybody starts with when they're meditating, and I look at our fingers, this little antenna. So there's actually like electrical currents and energies running through our bodies. So when you do different mudras, I'm just now getting into like learning about mudras, so I can't even like speak that like I know a whole bunch about it, but I do know you basically, for different meditative purposes, you put your fingers in different basically antennas, and it does different things. But for now, I guess the good start is just the index finger and the thumb, and then put your palms up and on your knees. So, all right, you guys ready to do this? I'm going to play a 432 hertz music, and I'm going to try to make my own for this. I got right now I'm going to play some from YouTube. But this is from the Power Thoughts Meditation Club. So I'm not claiming credit for this solfeggio frequency, but yeah, and it's like, so what we're doing here is what we're trying to do is focus on feelings. So again, the one more point I want to make is when people like say grace before dinner, they just say the words. They're like, yeah, thank you God for this and that and that. And most of the time people are like annoyed to even say it in the first place. Like, it's not about the words that you say, it's about the feeling that you put behind it. So when we go into meditation, we try to strive from communicating and feeling like not words, but more like feelings. Because there's a whole language of feelings that we don't understand. And I think that's what we need to really start tapping into, because the feeling is what's very important. So it doesn't matter the words, it matters the feeling that you put behind it. So this one, I'm going to ask you in the meditation to think of a memory that you are like super grateful for, something happened to you, and then hold on to that feeling of gratitude. So think about something that made you were like really grateful for, and then drop the context of what that situation was and hold on to that feeling. And then we'll carry that into the meditation. So let's get to doing it. You excited? Yep, Randy is saying everything exactly as I'm saying it. Okay, so let's get this jam playing here. All right, so get comfy, and here we go. I won't be able to respond to anybody for about 20 minutes, but afterwards, I want to do like a Q&A session, and I want to hear what you guys, what you felt, what you experienced, and let's compare notes and talk about it. So, because this is really important, guys. It could radically change your life. So, all right, here we go. It could be a little louder. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because I don't know how to make it any louder. I guess as loud as it goes. I'm sorry. So hopefully it's there in the background helping out. And again, this is the first one, so working through technical issues, but I'll have better music. So, all right, get comfy, and here we go. All right, so here we go. So just get comfortable in your seat, close your eyes, and just relax. There's nothing that matters outside of you right now. It's just you and you. Don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future. All that matters is the present moment. So start to gently clear your mind of any thoughts except the sound of my voice. If any nagging thoughts pop up while you're meditating, don't worry. Just don't try to forcefully push them away. Just let them float by you and just sort of let them go. Almost like you're in a crowded room and you can kind of zone everybody out and you don't hear every single conversation that's happening. You know it's around you, but you don't actively engaging it. And then just slow your breathing. Now I want you to think of a time, any time at all, that you got something that you were just so grateful for. Like it could have saved your life, or it just made the most out of your day or your year. Just something that really impacted you and that you are really, really grateful for. And what did it feel like to be that grateful for whatever that something was? Maybe it's your kids, maybe it's a new job. It could be anything. But what's important is now focus on that feeling of gratitude. And just let your heart open up and then just sit in that feeling and try your best to just channel that feeling of gratitude. Don't think of anything else. Don't think of any specifics. Just focus on that feeling. And then I'm just going to let you sit with that feeling and then just kind of just chill. Let those thoughts come and go and just focus on feeling grateful. You might start to see some trippy colors. You might start to see imagery. just kind of go with it and just chill and just be grateful. Now I'm going to stop talking and I'm just going to let you be. And don't worry about time. Don't worry about anything. My voice will come back in when it's time. But time right now doesn't exist. It's just you and your mind and the feeling of being grateful. Now, wherever you are, just gently pull your attention to my voice. And now I want you to imagine that you're in Australia and you see all the fires raging around you. And then you see these clouds roll up. And then water just begins to pour down all over you, all over the fires. You can feel it on your face. Just imagine water just raining down on Australia and extinguishing those fires. And you're there to witness it. And now think about how grateful you are for this water that just extinguished these fires. And now imagine that you're just dancing in that water, so grateful. What does it feel like if your mind is dancing? Channel the feeling of your mind dancing. You really focus on the gratitude. And now just spend the rest of our time sending out gratitude to Earth for that rain that extinguished the fires in Australia. Send out the gratitude as if it's already happened, because it already has. Now take a second to just thank the universe for everything that you have and everything that you have yet to receive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're back. Woo! There you have it. Welcome back, everybody. So, how was it? Let me set up some stuff here. I gotta turn this thing off. Okay. Ooh. There we go. Oh, sorry. I gotta get back to my comments here. Okay, there we go. Oh, right on, Wicked. Yeah, so what did you guys experience? Did you feel like you got to that place I was talking about, that hub? For me, it was once we started because I was just imagining connecting with all of you, and because it's a very powerful thing that we're all doing it together as well. And if you didn't experience anything profound or anything the first time, that's totally fine. Like I said to start with, it's Tiffany, you really needed this today, and you just happened along this video. See, I'm telling you that these synchronicities and these coincidences, they're like, if you found this video and you're here meditating with me and listening to me, it's for a reason and it's a purpose. And there's something in what I'm saying that you could really take and apply to your life in whatever way that works for you. Because this is the thing, we have to drop the religious dogma and this is wrong, this is right. Like, whatever works for you is what's right for you. But when we started focusing on like dancing in the rain of Australia, I was like, my body, like I you may have seen it if you go back and watch the video, but like I was like convulsing, and like it's just so powerful and profound. And like I really felt it. I felt like I was there, and I was dancing with all of you guys, and we were dancing in the rain. And yeah, Tiffany says I'm crying, and yeah, there are many times when I meditate or I'm hit with overwhelming, just pure, profound emotion, and I cry a lot. Like I cry a lot when I meditate. I almost cried when at the end of this one, and it's these feelings that we need to get in touch with, and realize that a lot of us are confused just because we don't understand that feelings are a language. If you're feeling a certain way, you're inexplicably depressed or angry or something, there's a reason for it. And you just have to solve your own puzzle and figure out what that reason is. But through meditation and through connecting with yourself and your feelings, that's what really helps you try to figure this out. Because I believe that, and again, I'm no doctor and this is not medical advice, but I believe that most mental health issues are related to an imbalance in connection with one's spirit and one's mind. And I believe that a lot of like the big pharma, I mean, you guys know this, like big pharma is a ripoff, and they're gouging people and they're trying to push people on all these medications. But we have all this biotechnology that can actually self-regulate and, enrich our lives with nothing more than the power of our mind. So my homework for you guys this week, if you're here and you enjoyed this, and even if you didn't feel like you got something out of it, spend 20 minutes each day. Just set it. It's really easy to do. Set a timer on your phone so you don't have to worry about like, because when you start thinking about time, like how long have I been sitting here, then it takes you out of the experience. So set a timer on your phone, 20 minutes, and then go back into that. I'm going to put this up on YouTube. So if you want to rewatch it and go along with me again, that's fine. I'm also going to put this out as in an episode of my podcast. I'm going to put the podcast link into the chat there. Randy, if you could put the podcast link on Facebook, that would be rad. But I also talk more in depth about meditation, spirituality, all kinds of stuff in a very non-aggressive, just open-minded way, because we're closing ourselves off to extraordinary things when a lot of people have a good reason why they don't have anything to do with spirituality. It's because like religion, some sort of religion was imposed on them and it ruined the whole experience. But this is something that is innate to us. This is our birthright. This is our birth. This is our to the heights of human potential. This is what the knowledge that we've been kept from. So we have to reconnect to this ancient knowledge and reconnect with ourselves, because that's how we're truly going to herald in a new era of like human unity and potential and possibilities, is because we have to fix ourselves, and then in turn we fix each other. So spend this week, just set 20 minutes aside, and then you can YouTube any of the solfeggio frequency, 432 hertz. You can try out different frequencies. Like I said, the binaural beats, you could try those. Play around with it, experiment, like try different things, because that's what I've been doing, and I see profound results. But yeah, and if you follow your intuition when you're doing this stuff, because you do have, like, even if you don't believe it or not, I believe that everybody has this spiritual team of guides that are trying to help guide you along, and they may have even guided you right here to hear this. This is the match that I'm striking to set ablaze your own curiosities and your own pursuits for your personal best, because that's all I'm here for. I have no other motives other than to share the profound things that I've stumbled across, and I want to set you guys on the path, because the things that I've experienced have been life-changing and profound, and I think, well, I know that everybody deserves this, and they're entitled to these, wonderful things. So let's see. Sorry, all right, so 20 minutes a day throughout the week, and then Sunday we'll do another one, and I'll show you a different meditative technique next Sunday, because I've tried out a couple different things, like activating the pineal gland. What we did there was just getting you in the hub, which is that's what you gotta practice on this week. Because once you get into that hub, that's when your world opens up. Because the first few times I did it, I was like, I don't know. I mean, I sat there and I quieted my mind, but nothing really profound happened, But just know that this is what really helped me, that every time you sit down to do this and you make the time, every single time you do it, you get better. Because that's working. All it is setting the intention of setting your mind to quiet your mind and find that hub within inside yourself, puts you closer and closer to getting there. Because just like doing push-ups or anything like that, this is like mental push-ups, because you're actively quieting your mind, not listening to that monkey mind, and that's what brings you into this state of being. So every single time you do it, know and believe. This is the important part. You have to know and believe that you have improved. So everybody that just did that with me, you guys are already like one step further, and you already improved just by doing that one time. So imagine doing that every day. And if you do that for at least a week, I guarantee you'll be seeing some kind of result by the end of the week. So really just give it a go, and just be like, channel that childlike excitement for life and imagination and belief in possibilities again. Believe that you are actually connecting with yourself, and that your mind affects reality. Just try to believe, because the alternative is living in a world of matter, which is angry and upset and all of these terrible things. But when you connect to the world of spirit and the unseen and the larger universe, then it's a magical place full of like wonder and possibilities. It's weird. It's like you forget to breathe. So, Witch King, I didn't say it before, but I've been wanting to get back to watching your stream. Last week, I was starting to look into meditation. I was in a raid on Monday, and meditation, among other topics I'm interested in, came up, and we discussed it. It was good timing. See, I'm telling you, Witch King, this is how your guides in the universe, even if you don't want to call it guides, if you want to think of it as just the universe, this is how the universe sets you on the path to discovery, is because you'll notice that things keep popping up. And the reason why I put on 432 hertz today is because that kept popping up to me these last few days. And then Randy was like, yeah, you should put it on for 432 hertz. And that's what we meditated to today. So, yeah, man, did anybody else have any experiences that you want to share? When you find that hub, it's almost like, the best way I can describe it is the feeling that you're going for is, when you lay down to go to sleep, and there's this weird swimmy stage right before you fall asleep where things don't make really any sense, but you feel like your body kind of feels fluid, and you almost like you don't have a body. You're just in this, like, you're like everything and nothing at all. That's the hub. That's the feeling that you want to channel. But to get there, you have to disconnect from everything. You have to become no thing, and in a sense, you become everything. So once you unplug from everything, then you find that hub. So that's the best way I can describe to find that hub. Hubba bubba. Man, do you guys have any questions for me as we come to the end of the segment here? And I want to answer any questions. Like I said, I'll put this up. And yeah, I think we're gonna start. Hey, what's up, Flaming? I'm gonna start doing this every Sunday because I think it's important to really help people connect with their own inner potential, man. Oh, Feather. Well, you can check out the VOD, and also I'm going to be posting it to YouTube. So, man, that was good. And then you'll notice that if you do your meditations earlier in the day, your little 20 minutes, the effects will start. Once you start to tap into that hub, it comes with this like feeling of like overwhelming like euphoria. It's like, woo. And then those feelings actually, and it's been studied, that when you put your brain in that state, the effects follow you throughout the day. So if you want to be less stressed out during the day, I would recommend trying out your meditation in the morning. And then, I don't know, experiment. Try it midday, try it at night. I've tried it at all different times. I think typically I like to do mine like midday for some reason. I don't know why. Also, you can try meditating different directions, because like that, it's also like there's weird different directions can mean different things. Yeah. Alrighty, well, if anybody doesn't have any questions, I think I'm gonna jump off here and cut this up so it can go to YouTube and put it on the podcast. Oh, I was born I think at noonish, right? Mama Neutron can chime in for that. But also, if you want to hear me discuss all kinds of weird spiritual things in my quest for knowledge, check out my podcast, Sig Neutron Sputron. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts. It's on Spotify, iTunes, and also you can click the link and listen to it on Podbean. But I was born at 5:28. Oh, that's funny. So maybe that's why I like to meditate that time. So, I mean, schedule permitting, I guess you can just always expect me to be here every Sunday at noon Pacific time. So, Tiffany, if you want to join us again next Sunday, I would love that. Anybody else that's out here, join us on Sundays. And also throughout the week, I stream from 1 p.m. to at least 4 p.m. Pacific time, doing sculptures and makeups and all kinds of fun stuff. So this is just a fun little thing that we're trying out that we'll do on Sundays. So getting us centered and ready for the next week, because when we come together, we all realize that unity is the lens in which we see what makes sense. What happened? Why did you do that? That's it. The unity is the key to solving all of our problems. So, and throughout the week, I'll leave you with the tidbits of knowledge that if somebody is stressing you out, or somebody's attacking you online or something, flip the script and just try, what can you do what happens if you just automatically just put your feelings about the situation aside and you were just really nice to that person? This works 9 times out of 10, well, 10 times out of 10 for me, online, is rather than arguing with someone, just flip it and be really nice and see what happens. And try to connect with that person, because now more than ever, we have to start connecting rather than dividing ourselves. So, thank you guys so much for meditating with me and listening to what I have to say. I really really appreciate that. You guys are all wonderful, and together, I mean, if we're alive during this time, that means the world is ours to shape it in whatever ways that we see fit. And I truly believe that we can all create a world where we all want to live, where our differences are what brings us together, because differences are celebrated. And it's I don't know. I don't think it's that lofty of a belief, or even that radical. I think it's just how it's supposed to be. So thanks, guys, and I will catch you either through the week on my stream, or I'll catch you guys next Sunday. So you guys are awesome, and enjoy the rest of your days and weeks. And remember, 20 minutes every day, meditate, focus on the feeling of gratitude, and get into that spirit. And then next Sunday, let me know how that's working out for you guys. So, and if you missed this, you can watch it on the video on demand, or you can check out our YouTube, youtube.com/ransig. So thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day.